Hello, Samadan here. It's been a while. Sorry I haven't been around for so long. So much has happened. Today I want to talk about Dragonflight, I want to talk about tokens, and I want to talk about what I'm doing for Goldmaking. The Dragonflight's been out a while now, we've had a couple of patches to get used to things. Professions look really good, had all this complexity and everything, and I was really excited for it. But to be perfectly honest, it's not really worked out for me in the way I thought it would. And I want to go into this in a little bit more detail. It all started back when commodities became region-wide, and I saw a whole parts of the professions kind of disappear overnight because your margins are so slim. You're fighting with everyone else in the entire region, and that's going to be someone who's got hundreds of hours available to them and will min-max the most out of their professions, and there's no real niches for anyone anymore when you've got commodities like that. Sure, it's great when you can sell everything immediately. I remember when it first came out, I just dumped everything I had in the auction house and it sold like 2 million's worth of stock that I had all in all my guild banks. So it's both good and bad, and this is kind of my feeling with Dragonflight and professions. There's everything to love about professions. You've got this complex system, you've got specializations, and then you've got the work orders and ways to communicate with your fellow players and become well known on your server. But unfortunately, the way it's executed, the way trade chat works, it's still faction dependent, whereas everything should be really cross faction at this point. You can't really talk to other factions. And then the whole communication of trade chat, advertising your wares, it's not quite the system. Now, I fully admit it's probably the way I play WoW. I'm not really a MMO player. I'm a solo player. I jump on when I can, and I like to be able to log off whenever I want to. And the way trade chat works and waiting for people and communicating with them, there's kind of like that almost stressful, well, at least for me anyway, that anticipation. I've got to wait around, I've got to do this. And for me, it just doesn't suit my style of play. So with professions in Dragonflight, I was thinking, oh great, okay, there's at least something I can do. But the problem is, when it comes to all the specializations and all the special bits of armor, the only way to really sell them is through crafting work orders. And the only really way to sell those is to sit in trade chat and spam your wares. And that's not my kind of style of play. There's also the fact that the purchasing power has now moved over to the buyer rather than the seller, so it's up to the buyer to set their tips and how much they want. Now, of course, you can negotiate in trade chat and you can do all sorts. That's, again, entirely a way of playing, and I'm sure Blizzard have got like lots of engagement and everything. And I don't want this to be a complete moan fest. I'm not one for complaining about systems. If it's not for me, then I simply just don't play it. And to be honest, that's what I've been doing over this past few months, is not really playing Dragonflight that much. The way professions are and the way they're set out, I don't feel like I'm making any meaningful gains each time I log on. And I don't want to play the way I'm encouraged to play with it. So therefore I've just gone, okay, what's the point? I won't bother. I mean, Dragonflight's great, you've got dragons, there's everything. Dragonflying's brilliant, it looks beautiful, there's everything you could possibly want in an expansion. And by all accounts, people who are playing the game as it's meant to be played are loving it, and I'm really happy for them, and please keep it that way. I mean, just look at professions, they look great with all this complexity, all the specializations. The problem is, all of this side of things, because it's all reliant on work orders, is of no use to me. I can maybe try and do some cloth cooldowns, which I've had a little bit of look at, but I feel like I'm just picking up scraps at this point. I'm pretty much reduced at this point to just crafting profession gear is about all that I'm finding decent profits on at the moment. Certainly on my server, because they are at least not region wide anymore. So for me, my gameplay loop has literally just been to log in, make sure I'm doing at least, say, my weeklies for professions so that I can get the 3 knowledge points, because they're pretty easy to do. I've set myself up with a TSM group, which is literally just crafting a few things for the auction house. I'm not interested in work orders. So I've got a bunch of groups here Literally mainly profession equipment and a few bags, a couple of toys, that's about it. And then I've got a trimmed down old world thing just to try and keep my stock low. I've got a few pets, toys. Enchanting, the only thing I'm really going for now is tomes. Again, region wide has meant that one of my favourite professions, which was enchanting, had all sorts of nice little niches that I could still make a decent profit in. The minute that all went region wide, the whole profession is pretty much was wiped out, and that makes me a bit sad. What I have got though is tomes. They still sell. I mean, remember I'm on Shadowsong, which is a really low pop EU server, so I'm used to infrequent sales but a reasonable profit. Then I've got a few other bits and pieces here, doing my sky golems as and when I can. A few panthers here and there. Tailoring wise, I'm still doing a couple of bags, the flying carpet. And then a few bits of pretty clothes that usually sell for some decent prices. The lumberjack shirts and all that do quite well. A few specialist items. And that's about it. I'm trying to keep my stock really low at the moment. You can see here my gold graph. I've literally, well, let's have a look. This got reset a while ago. So I've not really been making a huge amount of money. These have been token purchases each of these times. And so you can see here, I've pretty much down to my last token's worth of gold, 368,000. So things are starting to look a little bit desperate now. I mean, I've got a month or two left of game time. Thankfully, along came the classic token with all the old styles of gold making that I'm used to. And so I've set myself a little challenge. I'm still going to try and do what I can in retail, because you can always add gold to BattleNet balance, and I think that'll be a good thing to tick on over, and I'll expand my groups and see what I can do there. Still going to tick away at the profession knowledge points, because I think that's worth investing. You never know, I might change my mind and be able to find a few niches that I can make some reasonable gold out of without feeling like I'm just logging on and grinding for no reason whatsoever, because I don't want to use the work order system or something like that. So I'm going to keep on doing this, and so I'm going to tick through. The routine is really quite quick at the moment. I'll just run through what I typically do on any given day. Let's head back to Valdraken. Right, so typically I'll just open up what I've got, just grab any expires that I have at the moment. You can see some gold here, 11,000. That's actually quite decent. That's enough for my daily requirement anyway. So we've got the funeral pool, that's a good price. Hydro expedition bags, a good price. Flying carpet, also a good price. These are a small profit on those. And the alchemist robe. So let's just grab all of that. Oh, I should have screenshotted that actually. And then I'll simply just quickly relist those, restock as quickly as I can. So my little TSM group at the moment, most of this kind of works all right. Might have to tweak a few things. A few things don't quite work with TSM, but I can pretty much manually do them. The tomes are good when I do get some sales from them. The other things are more infrequent sellers. Gardening hat, haven't got a sale on that because it's a below minimum price. So I'll jump on over to the standard auction house, just have a quick look. 346, 250. The crafting cost was like 17, so I'll just jump them in here at that point, create those. Then go through, check my auctions, back into my profession window, back over to TSM, and then clear anything to restock a new group. I've already got enchanting and tailoring pre-selected, restock on those. Okay, so I've got a few things to do here. Now, one thing that is good because of the region-wide commodities is I can quickly buy things that I need. So just go onto our gathering tab, pick up a few things that I need here. Let's go over to auction house, where, excuse the clutter. One task list, there you go. That down, that there, expiration's down. Okay, browse that, scan that. Some of these things are overpriced, but you know what, your profit margins are pretty decent on these. I'm not too concerned. I just go through, just buy what I need. Let TSM do the lifting on this. Waiting to okay, that's quite expensive, but we'll grab it. That's the current price. And the same with the bolt of ember silk cloth, just saves me having to make them myself. Normally I have a huge stock of this kind of stuff, but for these purposes I'll just buy. I'll make sure that my profit margins are high enough. I'll just go through and then I can make the things that I need, relatively easily. I have a problem with a WotLK bag because it's waiting for specific ones, specific quality reagents which I don't have. I can pretty much make everything else pretty quickly. This probably needs the tailor's table, so let's just go on over there. Something's wrong with my forlorn funeral pall. Let's just go back here. We don't actually have the Virant WotLK bolts. I can probably make those. Got plenty of stuff there, so let's just create a few of those. We'll go back to TSM, see if we can make that. Yeah, we're all good that front. Gardening hat's pretty easy one. The TSM's got some relative profits on these. And then the bags I'll just do manually, 4 of the regular and 1 of the reagent. There we go, and we'll just jump back onto that.
Have anything ancient to trade? Needs to be at least
go on and post.
centuries old.
And then that gardening hat, I'll just do a manual one just to double check the prices of it. 346 over the latest one, max of that. Create the auctions, and that's it for the main characters. I'll literally jump through my 4 main characters that I've got and go through and just check their auctions. There are a lot less for the others. Dual crafting engineering, really just a few bits of profession equipment. Same with blacksmithing and leatherworking. Blacksmithing is a bit of a pain because you've got the listing fees on those are pretty steep, so you have to watch out for that. But I'm literally just listing a few things on here. Got some panthers, obviously those are going to be good, hopefully. Brainwave amplifier, sold one of those, that's good. Post everything else on. Some of these are fluctuating in price where the panthers aren't really worth listing. I'll just leave the jeweled onyx one on for now. I'll let the other stuff go for now. Let's just have a look at those bifocals and everything actually, just in case they're okay. Profession gear, 346. We'll go with that. Deposit's not too bad. And the same with those at 178. And I could look at the panthers. 24,000 I could possibly make, 1,500 on those. There's quite a lot of them that I'm in competition with. I kind of prefer them to be up at this price, so it's one of those things I might, if I can feel like it, just create an auction manually. May get a sale, may not. I'll just leave it at that. And it's such a pain to go over and collect up all the mysteries and all that, so I usually only list them when there's a decent profit on those, simply because it's a time thing more than anything else. Make sure that I'm doing my Yard's Peculiar energy source, get my cooldowns for the Sky Golem, or anything else that I might want to craft. Let's jump on to the next character. Okay, El Morty, my blacksmith, has sold a pickaxe. Does tend to have quite a few things that are a high deposit fee, so do have to watch out for those. Only if there's reasonable prices here. Skinning knife could possibly be pushed a little bit higher, but the others in thousands, I'll just put them on as they are there. A few things here just ready to expire in a moment. I'll just leave that for the moment. Sometimes I just go the speed more than anything else. This is very much a fire and forget kind of routine for me. Little and often. And my leatherworker has quite a lot of different fashion gear. I make 2 of each, usually is enough. So I've got 1,400 on that. Go with that. Post the rest of the stuff on.
To be at least 2 centuries old.
Sometimes I'll restock, sometimes I'll just leave it as it is. Sometimes I'll look at whether these are worth putting on manually, sometimes I won't. It's really just down to personal choice. You can see here 50 gold is really cheap, so I won't bother with that. But this is 250, it's probably okay, so I'll go with that. So those are my 4 main characters. Samadan is my alchemist and scribe, doesn't really do anything profession equipment wise at this point. I could look into a few things there. Largely though, those are the ones I do the profession weeklies on and run through those as quickly as possible. I also have Hellfire, who has a lot of my old stock when I used to have like a really big group of items that I was trying to sell, including all the crafted dreadful gear, which at the moment doesn't really sell, and it's too much of it to really bother with at this point. So what I've done here is, in order to get rid of my large stock of about 500 items, I think at the moment, that are currently still on the auction house, but we have got some sales. Shadowweed mask, brown linen vest, and a diamond. These ones I'll pick up with my tailoring group, so those will get wrapped up into what Samadan's doing. So I'll pick those up, but the rest of the other stuff is all this stuff is all my stock. Now I've set this to max expires of 100. So once they get to 100 expires, I'm literally just going to vendor them. These prices are ridiculous anyway. No one's really going to buy those, so I'm just throwing them on with the default operation. Fire and forget, not really bothering too much. There's 514 of them here, so really I don't want to have that much stock because it just takes far too much time for the level of returns I'm getting. I want to keep it lean and simple. That way, time is of the essence. I can literally do this for a quick 20-minute log on during the day, and that's it, fire and forget. If I manage to make some gold with this, then great. Depending on how much I make, well, that's a different matter. I'm tracking this with a spreadsheet. Of course I've got a spreadsheet. Let's just bring that over here. We can have a look. So I'm doing like this operation token thing. So I'm basically tracking what my gold is, what my classic gold is, my targets, what I'd need to make a token each month. Classic, I'd need to make about 381 gold, I think it is. Let's have a look. So retail here, 11,300 a day, with a token being at 340. That's spiked because of Diablo. It should be about 360,000 now. And the classic token last I looked was about 9,500. So obviously I'm way off of here. We'll get onto classic in a moment, but let's just finish off with retail. Log my gold for the day, which is 382,000. We did quite well today. So 382, 74. That goes in there. What did I do? I did a restock and a relist. I barely did a restock, to be honest. It's mainly just a relist. So let's just do a relist for that. So this is creeping up. You can just gauge the line here and the line here that I might be able to make enough for a token if I just keep ticking on through. If I get a decent Panther sale or something like that, that will certainly help. Some Tomes of Illusions would really help here. It all depends on luck, really. And like I said, I'm on Shadowsong. It's a low pop server, so my sales are few and far between. But I'm going with server-wide things. I'm not going for commodities. It's just not a market I'm interested in. Those small gains with large volume. I much prefer larger profits with smaller items. So, what am I doing over in the Classic? Well, this is where I'm having loads of fun. Okay, so Classic. I have Bridget. She's a level 71 hunter, which I boosted when Wrath of the Lich King came out. Corpse Lord. Hamadar's another boost that I had. Samadan has been around since Classic got first launched. Again, I've not really been playing it that much, but the main reason is because time, and as we saw, I'm just trying to minimize my time at the moment, and I want to make sure that when I do log on, I do something meaningful with my time, and I want to be able to log off. I want to be able to log off whenever I want to, so I tend to just keep with solo content or things that aren't going to leave me waiting around for someone else, which is great for someone like Bridget. Haven't really bothered with these two since Burning Crusade, where I was playing around a little bit. My main character, though, is Storage, which is my auction house flipping character. So we've gone back to the regular auction house, the one I know and love. Of course, this is classic, so it's not like it was when I was playing Legion and BFA and Shadowlands. This is old school gold making, which is where I've discovered my heart is. But now that we've got the incentive of classic and the token, that kind of gives me a reason to do it. And so here's my routine for classic. So here we are in classic. All the familiar gold making methods that I'm used to. If you followed on with my Let's Play series, you would have seen me doing all this low level flipping. And this is kind of where I'm at this point, just trying to get some commodities going, although they're server wide commodities, so it means we're just focusing on this, and we're just focusing on Alliance at this point. I'm on Mirage Raceway, which is a PvE. You can see how popular it is, all these people here just popping off. I think this is largely the popularity at the moment. The Joyous Journeys is on at the moment, so lots of people are around. They're leveling up all their characters, getting ready for the next phase of Wrath release, which is end of this month. And then obviously I think ICC will be coming out after that at some point. That's where I think there's going to be another peak of players, so I'm preparing for that. I'll probably level up Bridget in the background as well, get some gold there. It'd be nice to have a max level character, especially whilst the XP buff is on at the moment. So my group here is basically commodities flipping. I do a little search for various bits and pieces. I did invest a fair amount of stuff yesterday, so let's just go have a look. I'll check my mailbox first. I know I can stand here and interact with the auction house there, but I like running around. So we've got a lot of expires. We've got 152 gold though, so that's quite nice. Lots of things that I've just been flipping here. A few classic herbs as people level up their professions. Been doing a bit of enchanting as well. What have I got here? Oh, this was sent over from Bridget. I'll pick up all of those. Those are extra things that she got whilst leveling. Just missing the cobalt ore there. So the sort of stuff we sold here. Golden Sansom was a nice flip. Quite a few of those. Enchanted leather, I've managed to sell those. That's nice. 50 gold there. The earth root and beast blue obviously is low money at this point, but we're building up our coffers. 152 gold. We'll grab all of that. I'll leave that cobalt ore for the moment. So 683 gold. Really want to reinvest that as much as possible. So the things I'm doing at the moment is really kind of just low level at the moment. I could just post these as they are, but I like to look at them one by one. So just a shift right click on each one, because then there's usually flipping opportunities in here. So my usual thing, like I was doing on the Let's Play series, okay, so what's my price here? My smart average buy price is 1 silver 4, so we're in a profit here already. I could buy up these ones. Where's the next jump? 42 to 92. There's not very many of them. That takes us to a decent price there. So I'm just going to buy up those low level ones, and then we'll come in here with our 12 hours max stacks. We haven't got any partial stacks, so move on to the next thing. What have we got? Lesser magic essence. Price on that is, that's 10 silver. So we're looking at, if we do want to come in, we're going to come in here. I already have quite a large stock of this, and the sale rate is 0.1. It's not fantastic. I could obviously turn these into greater magic essences. I've got some of those already here. The price of those is 16 silver. So 30 silver for that. It's actually cheaper here. So I'll probably keep those at that and try and sell them as lessers. Be more cost effective, but I'd have to come in down here at 11.97. Let's do some pretty stacks. So just keep them as neat ones. No deposit fees, which is lovely. Let's just pop those on. And then look at the graters. Currently at 29. Well, we bought them for 16, so that's a fine price. Small glimmering shards. We bought them for 9.83. Currently at 27. Some of these we created by disenchanting, so we'll keep that price. Post those one and the partial stack. Ice cap hasn't been selling at all for me, even though I got it at a decent price of 1 gold. The sale rate on that is saying 0.01, so I don't think this is going to sell very often at all. So I'll just pop that on as it is. If we get a sale, we'll get a sale. Oops, I've just accidentally eaten that. Didn't mean to do that. Small pumpkin, none of those. Earth root. Now I have bought this for 1 silver 49. Got a lot of it here. 1 silver 49 is here. If I want to buy out all of these, there's 2 of 20, 2 of 20 there. A couple more here. It's relatively cheap. If I could buy all of these, or at least get my average down from 1 silver 49 to less than that, but it does mean I have more stock, so make that choice. In this case, as we haven't really invested in things, let's bump this back up. It is weekend, so we'll just see if we can push the price up a little bit. Is it worth me going to 168 for just the price of 5? Probably. Let's go there. Post up all of those. 31 stacks, that's a lot, so I need to sell a lot of it. Its sale rate is 0.32, so I may get a few sales, but we'll leave that as it is. Golden Sansom does seem to flip quite nicely in my experience, although we do have it at 99 silver now. There's 45 of one. That's a mini wall there if you don't have TSM. So this is all terms that I'm familiar with. This is what I like about gold making. This is what's fun for me. I can invest as much or as little as I like, and it feels like I'm doing something meaningful forward with my gold journey. I'm building up stock. I'm trying to read the market. All those kind of fun things. So here at 99, oh, that's quite a way down here. Do I leave it for now, or do I buy up a few of these? Let's have a look at my stats. I have purchased 255, but I have sold 222. My average sale price is 99 silver. So this is kind of the going price. 99's here. If I really wanted to push it up really high, there's a 50 there. That's not going to help me. We'd have to go all the way up here. I might leave this for now. We're at 99, so I'm going to leave that. And I can always come back to that during the week and see if I can make a better sale of that. Let's just put that on. And then we've got some greater magic essence here already, so we'll put that on. Frostweave cloth, this was just collected whilst gathering, so I don't really have a price of this yet. I did sell some for 1 gold 13. There is a lot of it. Flipping opportunities. We could go here. The market's on the rise. We've got some nice new TSM tooltip stuff here. 137. The region is 87, so it's quite high by comparison to other servers. Recent value was 173, so it has been pushed up. I could do a quick little flip here. There's only a few of them, 5 stacks of 20, and I'll put it up here. Let's try that. Imagine as it obviously the current content cloth, we'll pop it in there, and then we'll post what we do have, and then we'll put the rest on once we open up the mailbox. Golden Dragonite, I haven't really got a comparison here, so we'll just post it on as is. If I was looking for a flip, what have we got? 0.5 region sale rate. We could go to 2 to 299 quite easily. Then up to 3 to 4 here. What's the normal price? It's going up a little bit. I think we could possibly make a healthy flip here. Let's get a few more. 2 to 3 to 4. And then 4 to 575. That's probably 290 gold, so that's probably enough. We're just going to bump this right up. There we go. So that will be phase 1 of my routine. Relisting my auctions plus buying things when they're cheap. Phase 2 will be to pick up all the things I've just bought and then list those on. And again, I can stop this at any time, which is kind of like my preferred play style at the moment. Is I don't know how much time I'm going to have to play at any one point. Look at that, 99 stacks of 20. That's a solid price for cobalt ore at this point. Not sure that's going to go and shift at any point soon. So we'll just post as it is now. We're just got to jump under here. We can come in at that. That's probably fine. What's the average? 1 silver 12. Going to 1 silver 89. That's fine. Get some individual ones on there. Big stock of earthroot. Again, this could be a tricky one. I may be overstocking on this, but just post what we have. And the frostweave cloth, we did buy out the cheap ones. Average buy price is 99 silver, so we can come in here. Get our extra stacks on. See if we can get a little quick flip on that. Hopefully with the sale rate of that, 0.866, hopefully that will sell quite quickly. And these star rubies, I have no idea how quickly they'll sell, but we'll put them on at that price. Possibly worth pretty stacking those. 17 and 1. Don't know whether people want them in specific stacks or anything like that. Oh, they're going on for the wrong price there, 361. Let's just take those off. Oh, there goes some of the frostweave. Always good to see that coming through. Right, let's have a look at this. Pay more attention this time. Yeah. So, Star Ruby, yeah, we should be here at 575. Do I do them individually? I mean, I could do that instead. Deposit cost 127. It's quite expensive. Let's just pop. Let's do individually. See how that looks. I've got 18 of one. Okay, then someone can buy them out if they want to. Okay, phase 2 done. Okay, so then depending on what I've got time for, I I'm going to go for a little bit more. I could do something like a vendor search, see if there's anything decent there. There's nothing here at the moment. Usually get those more in the week. I could also go back and do a disenchant search. I picked up enchanting on my level 5 character here. There's nothing here at the moment, so that must mean that someone's done that recently as well. Usually you do get something. I have to have a think about that. And then the other thing is to actually look at any of these specific markets and see if there's anything I want to flip in. Like, let's just have a look at the Wrath of the Lich King, or see if there's anything there, because we do have 268 gold. It's nice to be able to reinvest things in. These currently aren't looking like a particularly good flip. Titanium bar. Now I do think this is going to rise and rise over time as people are investing in that. You can see like it's gone up to 18 already. I wonder if this is something worth possibly pushing higher. It's got a good sale rate. It all depends on the brackets really. 19, there's a gold difference there. Could it go as high as 22? There's not many of them. I mean, once I get to high enough level, this is something I could go out and mine myself. You know, I've got a coming up for level 80 character. This gives me options into looking at this. Obviously, I'll be fighting with bots and all that sort of stuff, but this is where I'm at with Classic. It's a familiar market for me as an old school gold maker. This is my stomping ground. This is, you know, during Legion and BFA where I really learned to cut my teeth on proper gold making. I did dabble in it back in the original Wrath of the Lich King and Vanilla and those times, but never to any serious extent when I started doing proper gold making and streaming it and all sorts. So I'm kind of dividing my time here. Let's have a look. We got 514 gold. Let's put that on our little spreadsheet. So for today we have gone up to 514 gold. We just basically did a reinvest of the flips. Didn't really do a great deal. What's our auction house value at this point? Just something worth keeping an eye on. Doesn't necessarily mean we've got 8 sold already at 155. That's pretty cool. So where are we at? 155 to 385 gold auction house value, and we know some of that's already sold. So I'll just pop that in at 385, because what I'm looking at here, even if my gold doesn't rise here, as long as my auction house value is rising, then I know that I'm actually making money. It just needs to sell. So that's always something to consider from my point of view. Obviously we should be here at the 2,000 gold mark if I was going to seriously make a token's worth, so we haven't really gotten ourselves going yet. But this is very much early days. I've not had much time to play Classic. Obviously with retail, I've already got all my professions set up. I spent all that time, I invested that time, so I want to make the most of that, but with minimal time investment right now. And with Classic, I've got these little flips that I'm doing at the moment, steadily increasing my stock, and then I'm going to level up my other, my Bridget, my Hunter, and maybe my other characters as well, just to try and, you know, just get back that enjoyment of the game. This is the thing, is I'm like I said at the beginning, I'm not one for complaining. This is the way retail has worked out. This is how it is, and this is how professions are. There's everything to love about it, and if you are invested in how they want you to play it, and you want to get completely into the markets with trade chat and crafting work orders, there's loads of gold to be made. I've seen people making millions, and even other methods with flipping or finding other niche markets. It's just, for me, I've kind of just lost interest a little bit on the whole retail side of things, which is a shame because, like I said, there's a lot to love with retail. I'm by no means disappointed with how it's worked out, but for me at the moment, I think I'm just enjoying seeing this activity over here on Classic. I'm really looking forward to Hardcore and what happens with that. I don't think there's going to be much in the way of gold making from that point of view, but just from a fun leveling point of view, that sounds like it could be a lot of fun. So that's something that I'm certainly got an interest in. So I hope you enjoy this little recap. I'll try and do something a little bit more frequently than once every few months, and try and keep you posted. I'll keep posting some of my progress here on Twitter as well. And if you are a patron, I'll put access to both my classic and retail TSM groups. I'll do an update for that as well. So if you are interested in those, you're more than welcome to grab them there. So until next time, happy gold making, and I'll see you very soon.